Okay, so I'm back. I'm going to first go through, hello. This is just a quick, may not be quick. I'll stay on here as long as you guys have questions. This is going to be a Q&A for the September 2018 Budget with Me Live. No question is off limits. I'm assuming most of the questions will be related to budgeting and different things like that, but I'm also open to whatever questions that you guys may have. So I'm going to first finish answering questions from the Budget with Me live video, and then I'm going to dive into the questions that you guys have here. And I just want to let you guys know, like, I appreciate you. I love you guys so much. Like, this is incredible. Like, I love doing this. So, all right. So Techno Girl mentioned that she inherited 5,000 and now she has less than 12,000 and she's pissed at herself. I know that that's not a question, but what I would encourage you to do is forgive yourself and find a budgeting philosophy and follow it. As hard as it may be to follow it, just find a budgeting philosophy and follow it. It doesn't have to be Dave Ramsey. I like Dave Ramsey because I would like to radically eliminate my debt and manage my millions of dollars that I plan to earn one day. But find a budgeting philosophy and stick to it, and then you don't have to worry about what does HWT mean? Oh, a Techno Girl said, I don't know what you mean. I mean, so a budgeting philosophy. So like Dave Ramsey has a budgeting philosophy. Susie Orman has a budgeting philosophy. My Fab Finance has a budgeting philosophy. Clever Girl Finance has a budgeting philosophy. There's so, like, everybody who is trying to teach you how to manage money, they have a budgeting philosophy. And so everybody's philosophy is different. Everybody has different core principles. So like how I mentioned in the previous video that Dave Ramsey, his program was originally created for married couples who were also believers. And so a lot of people are not attracted to that, one, because they may not be married, and two, because they may not be believers. And so his budgeting philosophy may not work for you if you don't fall into those categories. So it's like you have to find somebody whose budgeting philosophy resonates with you. Anna Story said, I didn't see the PayPal debt on your budget. Does that mean it's paid off with the last month's budget? I'm still hoping that the PayPal debt will be paid off. I have 6 days left, so I'm hoping to be celebrating with you all in 6 days that PayPal debt is paid. My financial situation did change because I'm no longer working my part-time job. So I that's still a little bit up in the air, but I will keep you posted. Check this out. This is intentional. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Terry, what debts do you plan on paying first once you finish City Girl? My IRS debt. Yeah. And then probably after my IRS, I really want to pay my most recent medical bill. Then I would go to the BCD debt. Ideally, what I want to be paying on at the top of 2019 is only student loans. I don't want to have any other consumer debt, IRS debt, or anything like that. I just want to only have my student loans to work on. But I want to start paying on my student loans this month. But I mean, not this month, excuse me, this year. But in order for me to start paying on my student loans this year, my minimum payment on my student loans every month is $1,600. So I have to increase my income significantly. I hope you get better. Thank you. I'm feeling a lot better. Kimberly Archer, do you make one debt payment a month or several? So my two active debts are my PayPal balance and City Girl. My other debts are not active right now. So for the month of September, I'm planning to make the one. So Abby Grant, great job on making $4,000 part-time. That wasn't my income part-time, Abby. It'll be $2,000. Amanda Knowles, why is the City Chick debt payment not in your business expense budget? Because the company that debt was created from is not I created a brand new company, so I'm not going to be in debt. When that company was, I think, yeah, that's primarily because I'm not going to put my new company in debt. My second thing is I think in my mind, once I liquidated my two companies that failed in 2016, top of 2017, once I liquidated those companies, the remaining debts became my personal debts. So that's that. Go dog, go Karen. You're a very smart woman. Thanks for sharing. Thank you. You're awesome. New Jersey. Thank you. Candace, are any of your bills on auto payments which might mess you up if not paid until the 21st? No, I don't have my bills on auto payment. And the only reason I don't have them on auto payment, actually my renter's insurance is. The only reason I don't have them on auto payment is because I still want to connect to my dollars and cents right now while my income is low. And have your son pay for his iTunes out of his commission in order for him to learn his financial responsibility, even if you increase his commission in order to cover the iTunes? No, because he has other financial responsibilities, so be able to cover his iTunes. There's not much that I can do for my son right now. There's not much that I do for my son right now, so I do enjoy doing these little things for him. Christina, do you have a service business where you sit down, talk with people, and help them get their budgets or get their life in order outside of YouTube, like one-on-one? Yes. So Christina Holly, if you are interested in me sitting down with you for your budget, I do have a one-on-one call that we would do. Thank you so much. Someone just sent Chabin just sent $10. I appreciate that. Where we would sit down one-on-one, that is $25. And we go through, we figure out what your budgeting philosophy is. We figure out what your why is for why you want to stay committed to budgeting. And then we go over whatever upcoming month's budget you have. And that includes income, expenses, and debts. So that's $25. So if you're interested in that, you are more than welcome to just send $25 to paypal@flowers.com and we will get that scheduled. My other coaching that I offer for like business coaching and life coaching, it's a completely different fee structure, but if anybody in here is interested in that, you're more than welcome to just send me an email at info@staceyflowers.com and I'll send you more information about the business or life coaching. Crab Ragoon said, I think your utilities, Crab Ragoon said, I think your utilities could be lower. Your rent and utilities could be lower if you had a roommate. You could pay $900 including utilities, living in 2-bedroom and 1 woman. What do you think? I don't want to have a roommate. Antonia Smith hugs. I'm waiting for your debt-free screen party. I want to be there. Yes, you will be there. And along the way, I want to have little parties. Oh, thanks, Techno Girl. She sent $5. I want to have little virtual parties for you guys. So hopefully in 6 days, we'll be having a virtual party with me paying off my PayPal debt. Techno Girl, why live with someone when you can afford to live alone? Candace, question, maybe for your Q&As, can your business debt be moved into your business budget? No, because I don't want to burden my new company with debt, but I do understand the question. She said, I have to find my headset so I can listen while cleaning. Yes, so thank you guys. So that's all the questions from the previous video. I'm going to now jump into questions from the current video. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. So give me just a second to pull those up. Hi, Brandy. So good to see you. A few more seconds, guys. Kale girl. I'm so happy you're gonna try kale for the first time. Listen, let me tell you guys, kale does not have the same effect on everyone. So if when you eat it, if you don't feel like it's good for you, don't shove it down. Cause like one of my best friends, kale does nothing for her, but it's just not a food for her, but it's totally a food for me. So you have to, you know, use your discretion in determining whether or not kale is your thing. Okay. So let me go to the top of questions here. Oops. All right. Andrea, Christina. Okay. Christina, do you think it's better to have an emergency fund of 2 to 3 months times of your expenses than to pay off student loan debt or pull all your extra money into your debt? I have 39,000 in debt and I was wondering. Christina, I think your first step is to pick a budgeting philosophy that works for you. So, based on what keeps happening. Oh, I don't know why that keeps happening. You guys see me? I'm sorry. It keeps going in and out, and I don't know what that's about. So according to the budgeting philosophy that you follow, and I hope that made sense, but according to the budgeting philosophy that you follow, nearly every budgeting philosophy, except for Dave Ramsey's, suggests that you save 2 to 3 months. So Susie Orman's of the world, there's so many other people. I just keep saying Susie Orman because I once upon a time follow her philosophy. So I think before you make any significant payments towards your debt or towards savings, you need to pick a budgeting philosophy and you need to stick to it. Because if you dibble and dabble in different people's budgeting philosophies, then what's going to happen is you're not going to produce a consistent result. And when it gets hard, and it will get hard because budgeting and paying off debt is hard, when it gets hard, you're going to be devastated and pissed off and very, very frustrated. So I would say, before figuring out whether or not you should save, before paying on your student loans or vice versa, you need to pick a budgeting philosophy and you need to commit to it. If I was in your shoes, I would just do my baby emergency fund, get rid of my debt, and then do my my savings. But I'm committed to the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University program. Abadi, Dieterville, two of my favorite budgeting philosophies are The Art of Money and Young. And YNAB, and it's not Young, it's You Need a Budget. That's a budgeting philosophy. Yes. More new movies. Hey. Nikita, do you plan to work 3/4 times for your company with additional time off of your part-time and original quarter time from your company? No, I'm gonna work part-time in my company instead of 3/4 time. Just gonna move it up to part-time so before I was working quarter time in my company, and now I'm gonna work part-time. We're Truth. Hey, love. Hey, I'm happy to see you live. I just started responding to some of your comments. So super excited to see you live. Abigail's Joy. Maybe I missed it. Wasn't here for the budgeting live, but why aren't you working your part-time job anymore? Haven't decided to share the circumstances surrounding that just yet, just because it's still a little fresh. But I'm not working my part-time job anymore. RH, hello again. Love the videos. I agree with Christine. My emergency fund is 12 times my burn rate. Okay. Amanda knows, do you choose to give up on your part-time job? No, I didn't choose to give up on my part-time job. Andrea Harville, can you post the Facebook Live that you did the other day? I don't have Facebook anymore. I'm trying to decide. I'm really trying to I'm really trying to be strategic with what I share and where I share things, simply because it can become confusing for people. What I will likely do is have it available on my website, so that way if you go to my website, you'll be able to access any of the information that I share about rebuilding my speaking company that I'll typically share on Facebook. And again, a part of that is just a strategy decision from the business side. I just want to be very mindful about how I'm sharing and where I'm sharing. So that's something that you can look forward to, is that information being available on my website and you being able to access it there, given that you don't have a Facebook. Abby. So Abby Grant, 2,000 after you pay yourself as well. So no, I'm not sharing my full business revenue for the month of September. What I'm sharing is the salary that my company is going to pay me for the month of September, which is $2,000. More new movies. Are you planning to do more grocery hauls? Yes. Lizzie, hi Stacey. Have you experienced debt fatigue, and if so, what have you done to overcome it? Not really for sure. I don't think I've experienced debt fatigue. Based on that language, I'm assuming it's when you're just tired of paying on your debt. I haven't experienced it yet because I'm just now getting into the throes of paying off my debt. But likely, if I were to experience it, what I would do to overcome it would be probably two things. I would celebrate more often. So like if I'm getting tired of paying off my debt, I would celebrate more often. So one of the things that I'm probably doing that's preventative is that I'm going to celebrate every single debt that I pay off. And I'm going to super celebrate. Like it's not going to be like a wonderful, no, I'm gonna like have a whole entire ball, and I'm gonna invite you guys to that ball. Like it's gonna be a big freaking deal. So I think sometimes that happens because we just don't give ourselves credit. You know what, if I think about it, the first time I went on this journey, I probably did have debt fatigue because I just didn't celebrate it. Like I paid off a crap ton of money and I did nothing to acknowledge that. And I think you have to acknowledge that. Like, and it's hard to acknowledge like doing the right thing because it's just what you're supposed to do. But I think just you got to celebrate. You got to celebrate the small wins. And I think also I would do more reflection stuff, right? So like a part of the reason that you're feeling debt fatigue is because your perspective is getting a little bit warped, right? Because you have been taking the action to pay off your debt, so your perspective is shifting. So I would do a ton more reflecting. I would probably reflect once a week on what I'm grateful for, why I'm doing this. I would do a lot of visualizing about what my life is going to look like once I finally pay off the debt. I would do more to strengthen my mind, because a lot of the debt fatigue is coming from the mental anguish about like what it is that you're doing and not doing. So yeah, but again, I obviously when I'm in it, it may be a little bit different, so I'll definitely try to figure that out for you. Maxine Frazier, wish you much success. Thank you very much. Again, thank you, Chabin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I do appreciate your $10. Ashley Royster, not sure if anyone asked this, but when did you stop working a part-time job? Last Wednesday. Yeah, last Wednesday. Or the Wednesday of this week. Because this is Saturday. Yeah, the Wednesday of this week. Thank you again, Techno Girl, for the $5. I don't have a P.O. box, but I do have a shipping address. My shipping address is 1364 East 53rd Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60615. And I'm going to start leaving that in the description box of all of my videos moving forward. Andrea Harville, what books have you been reading lately? I'm still reading the Soulmate book. It's a difficult book to get through. So I've been reading that. I haven't really been back to the library. I'm looking over at my books right now to see. So I've really been trying to get through the Soulmate book, and also because I've been very sick, I've been rereading some of the principles in You Can Heal Your Life, but I haven't picked up any new books. Just the last, like, forever, I've just been so sick that I've just been like, it wasn't awesome. Clarissa Harker, I'm so happy that you love my videos. Techno Girl question, why do you cover the screen when you leave the camera? Just because, when I'm walking around my house, like, I just don't want it to be weird. You guys seeing me walk around my house and like dig through stuff. Shalinda Holiday, your grocery hauls are bomb. Your best friend doesn't like it. I don't know what the best friend doesn't like it mean, but thank you. I'm glad that you like my grocery hauls. Hi, Thrifty Simplicity. Candace, can't remember how to do a super chat. Help. Oh, I don't know how to do a super chat. Do you guys know how to do the super chat? Tessa May 365, you have encouraged me to create 5 financial goals I have to achieve with the income I'm bringing in. Yeah, I think that that's one of the things that one of the errors that people make often when they are trying to commit to a financial plan is that they don't set financial goals based on where they are and where they actually want to go. They set financial goals based on what other people think about where they are and what other people want them to be. So a lot of people are upset with my 4 financial goals. Like, a lot of people are upset with the way that I'm choosing to get to those financial goals, but I can't, they're not going to pay any of my bills. They're not going to step into my shoes. They're not going to be like, oh, that's difficult for you, I'm going to handle it. They're not going to do any of that. So they can share as much critique as they want, but I'm the only one who has to live this life. And if I'm going to live this life, then I'm going to live this life in such a way that I'm going to shoot for the financial goals based on where I am and where I want to be. So yes, definitely. Chandalino, yes. Where did you get the mason jars, and what size are the big ones with the celery, veggies? Sorry. The mason jars I got from Walmart. The large sizes are gallons. I have a gallon size, a quart size, and then 8-ounce sizes. Robbie Thornton Peak, thank you for sharing the budget with the forms. I'm still trying to figure them out. Yeah, it takes a little bit. I would encourage you to go back to some of my earlier budgeting videos, only because I'm still also figuring it out. So I move through them slower. I do make a lot more mistakes, but I move through the budgeting form slower, which I think makes it easier for you to catch on and understand them a little bit more, at least from my perspective. She said the super chat square with the $sign in the right corner of the typing chat. Okay. Techno girl, how do I know what philosophy works for me? I've never budgeted in my life. I think it's a HUT thing. It's a heart plus gut thing. So I would go to like Dave Ramsey's site. You need a budget site. LearnVest, My Fat Finance. I would go to, you know, or even if you go to like Instagram and you like find different budgeting people there, I would go to people's different sites and I would read like their about page, or I would read you know, their latest blogs. And you know it resonates with you if you find yourself going back to it over and over and over again, right? So for example, like, how did you know you were gonna want to participate in this super long Q&A / budgeting live? There was just something internally that connected with you, and you were like, oh, I can trust this girl enough to ask her questions. I can trust this girl enough to share publicly that I inherited 5,000 and now I'm down to 12. Like, there was just an immediate sort of connection or resonance between you and me. Even though you don't know me, you don't know whether or not I'm going to be successful at this, there just was an immediate resonance. And so take that same sort of feeling into reviewing other people's budgeting philosophies, and you literally can Google, you know, how to do a budget, and a bunch of different people's thoughts and ideas will come up, and you just have to find the one that you feel comfortable with, and also the one that is in alignment with your goals. So for example, FPU, it works for me because I don't ever want to use debt again. I don't want to use debt to buy a house. I don't want to use debt to buy a car. I don't want to use debt to create my company. I don't want to use debt to build my legacy. I don't want to use debt. I'm eliminating the belief that debt is leverage, that credit is leverage, that credit is necessary. But if you're someone who still very much values your credit score, then the Dave Ramsey program is not going to work for you. A program that might work for you, and I say this all the time, but it's just because I know her name, Susie Orman, might work for you. My Fab Finance might work for you, because these are budgeting philosophies that value the credit score and the FICO score and building that. And so you have to think about, okay, what do I believe about money? What do I believe about credit? What do I believe about debt? Where do I want to be financially? Like, you know, like, I think that there's like this mad dash. Everybody wants to be a 6-figure earner, but it's like, most people don't really want to earn 6 figures. Most people want to earn like a nice 50 to 75K. They just want to be comfortable. But everybody like goes after 6 figures, and everybody goes after $1 million because that's what people talk about and that's what people hype up. But if you don't really want to make $1 million, if you don't really want to make 6 figures, it's totally okay to learn how to live beautifully off of 50K or 75K. And if that's where you're at, then you want to find a budgeting philosophy that supports that philosophy, that encourages and pushes you to increase your income and to max out on you don't want to find a budgeting philosophy that speaks about that, right? So it's about, you know, when you think about your income, when you think about the type of woman that you want to be financially, like, do you want to be a woman that invests? If you notice in the Dave Ramsey program, there's no place in Financial Peace University where we are talking about investing. that's something important to think about, because if you want to be an investor, you may want to find budgeting philosophies that include investing, so it's just something to think about. um, Brandy Eves, how many hours is 1/4 time? How do you determine that? It's about 15 to 20 hours a week. So I base it off of a traditional 40 to 60 hour work week. So most high performing, high earning people work anywhere between 50 to 60 hours typically. I still want to be a high earner. So I base my quarter time off of just taking a quarter of the 50 to 60 hour week schedule. So working part-time is going to be working anywhere from 20 to 30 hours a week, if that makes sense. Candace, thanks Nikita, must not be able to do that on my phone. Miss AJ, are you going to get another part-time job or just focus on your company? I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided yet. It's very, I don't know. I wish I had the answer to that question, but I don't know yet. Tech this out. I really like that name. Tech this out. Often do you cook? Isn't healthy food more expensive than average junk food? No, healthy food is cheaper than junk food all the way around, every which way from Sunday. I don't know how they have convinced us that junk food is cheaper than healthy food. No, I cook every day. No, that's not fair. I probably cook like every other day. Only reason why it seems like I cook every day is because I don't have a microwave, so I have to warm stuff up on the stove. But I usually do a really solid meal prep on a Sunday, which I want to start now. I want to share like what my Sunday routine is with you guys, because I meal prep when I bring my groceries home, but I also meal prep every Sunday so that I'm prepared every week, because my grocery budget is so conservative, but I love food and I like flavor. When I take Sundays to like pour into like cooking some things and preparing some things, it makes it so much easier for me to be able to like really have like good food throughout the week. So I'm gonna be sharing more of that with you guys. But no, healthy food is 1,000% cheaper than junk food. I think the issue with healthy food is people don't know how to get into eating healthy food. And here's my number one tip. You have to figure out what foods you like. Like, most people don't know what food they like. So for example, I like kale. I like spinach. I like corn. I like quinoa. Like, I like black beans and red beans. Here's a good example. So I like black beans and red beans. If you guys notice, I don't get navy beans. I don't get pinto beans. There are a plethora of beans I could get every single month. But what beans do I get? Black beans and red beans, because I like black beans and red beans. I don't really care for all those other beans. And what most people don't do when they're trying to like start eating healthy is that they just eat what other people tell them to eat instead of what they like. It's like you have to take the time to figure out what you like. And if you don't like kale, don't buy kale. Even if you guys notice my fruit selection, what do I buy for fruit? Peaches, plums, pineapples, and strawberries. You know what you haven't seen me buy? Oranges, grapes, apples. These are very common fruits. Bananas, oh my gosh, like bananas just are not good for me. Like, I didn't know that bananas weren't good for me, but they are just not good for me. But the funny thing is I never liked the texture in my mouth because it just always dried my mouth out, but I had no idea. A little bit of sensitivity there. But think about it. Everybody has like a banana or apple for breakfast. But if you notice, I don't eat that for breakfast because it's not good for me. It's so not good for me. So I think the first step to eating healthy is figuring out what foods you like the taste of, but also then what foods your body likes. So another example, my body doesn't like white potatoes. That's why you guys see me purchase sweet potatoes over white potatoes. Now, in the beginning, I did not love sweet potatoes, but I feel better when I eat sweet potatoes than when I eat white potatoes. So I've learned how to cook sweet potatoes so that I would actually like the flavor of them. People are like, don't use olive oil, don't use butter. Listen, eat the food that you actually like, and you'll find that you'll naturally start gravitating towards healthier options. Most people eat the food that's marketed to them. So like, you eat breakfast food during breakfast time, you eat lunch food during lunchtime, and you eat dinner food during dinner time. But if you guys remember in my follow me to therapy video, I had a whole like spinach kale salad for breakfast because I knew I was going to therapy and I needed my stomach to be settled. Like, I could have had breakfast food, but that's not what's best for the day that I was about to have. So I think transitioning into healthy food over junk food is figure out what are the top 5 foods that you love. 5. Most people can't name 5 foods. Even now, anybody who's in this chat right now, I dare you to name, not dare, can you name the top 5 foods that you absolutely love? Like, quickly, just type them out, like quickly. And not like, when I say foods that you love, whole foods. So not meals, but just whole foods. Like, I like beets, I like kale, I like quinoa. That's a whole food. So just the food group, not the meal or the what is it called when you processed food, not the processed food. Yeah, name 5. And most people don't know what that is, and because they don't know what that is, they don't know how to shop for food that's for them. So yeah. So you guys are naming one at a time. So yeah, like how Lisa put all 5 in there. And then build your meals around that, and you'll save money and you'll get off the junk food. I went on a little bit of a tangent there. I apologize. Candace Fry, have you ever considered posting videos to your Patreon account? I have not. I will do that. I never thought about that. I just got into the Patreon process, so I do need to figure out how to do that and create tiers that are valuable for people who are signing up for monthly memberships. So yes, thanks, Candace. Nikita, do you feel vulnerable with only $500 in your emergency fund? Like when you felt sick, you had to use it. Have you thought about bumping it up to 1,000 or so? No, I actually felt really very secure. I think that's because my income is low, and I know that overall my expenses are low. I think also because I'm current on my rent, that's probably why I also didn't feel very vulnerable. I felt very secure. I was very happy that I had that available. And as soon as my income increases, I'll definitely bump it up to $1,000. So Lisa, do you have or would you consider a Patreon or GoFundMe? Consider a Patreon. Yes, I do have a Patreon account. So it's just Patreon/Stacey Flowers. I don't think I would do a GoFundMe because I don't want you to fund me. Yeah, that's a little weird for me to be like, oh, GoFundMe to pay off my debt. Like, no, I'm responsible for my debt and I'm going to pay off my debt. The Patreon account, there was a subscriber who was going back and forth with me for a while because it took me a while to even set up a Patreon account, because I was really hesitant to do it. But the way she explained it to me is that a Patreon account is more about you are finding value in the content that I'm producing. Therefore, you want to offer, you want to provide a monthly subscription. You want to pay a monthly subscription almost for the content that you already see me producing or for the value that you already see me giving. As opposed to like a GoFundMe is more like, it's different. It's just different. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, so a Patreon account, I'm just now opening and expanding and expanding my paradigm to be able to see that that's just really, you guys are essentially, like if I was a magazine, you're essentially paying for my magazine subscription every single month. So yeah. Abby, okay, 2,000 is a great part-time. A lot of us don't make that full-time. Yes, that's, yeah, I would agree. I 1,000% agree. I'm very grateful to be making that with 15 to 20 hours a week. Lisa, would you consider, okay. Emma, hi Stacey, I'm relatively new to my debt journey. I'm not off track this month, but I did have a windfall of $484 and I spent it all. Do you have any advice on managing? Yes, I think that doing your budget every single month helps you with managing unexpected income. And when you get unexpected income, before you spend it, you should sit down and decide where you're going to spend it. And so you should look over your budget and figure out where you would want. So Dave Ramsey has a form, it's called Irregular Income Planning. Only reason I don't use it is because it was stressing me out a little bit because I was always trying to reach to get there. But in the event that I would have gotten additional $484, I would have considered my priorities for the month of September. So I always set an intention for every single month. And I would have looked at my intention, to see whether or not I had met that. And then after I looked at my intention, I would look at my priorities and say, okay, well, what do you keep saying is your priorities? And so, for example, if for me, my intention for the month of September is to refund my emergency fund. So first I would have tried to put some money there if it wasn't already refunded. And then my priority after that is my tithe and my child support. If that was already taken care of, then I would have moved on to my third priority, which is repaying my debt. And so then I would have looked at my debt and I would have figured out where can I put a huge chunk of this towards my debt. And so likely what I would have done is put $400 towards my debt and given myself an $84. Like, you can do whatever it is that you want to do with it. But that would have been in accordance with my priorities, because after my debt priority, my lifestyle is a huge priority. I value taking good care of myself. I value quality clothes, quality food, quality skincare, quality personal hygiene items. Like, I value quality in that area. So after I would have put the $400 on my third priority, I would have given myself about that $84. So it's really, you have to sit down and you have to figure out what your priorities are. And I would recommend doing a budget every month and also setting intentions. Erica, I so love you. I just discovered your channel a month ago and look forward to the videos that you post. We'll get there soon. Thank you. Liz, thank you for your input. You're welcome. Andrea, do you have a budget sheet? I don't have like a personal budget sheet that I've created. I follow the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University forms, which you can get those if any one of my videos except for these last 2 lives. There's the link. Abby Grant, do you have advice for single moms? My advice for single moms is the same advice for everyone, is that you have to find a budgeting philosophy first. Then you have to make a commitment to the budgeting philosophy, and then you have to start working it. And I think one of the challenges with being a single mom is that obviously you are responsible for everyone and everything. Your income is typically limited. Your time is typically stretched. So the first thing I would do is find a budgeting philosophy and make a commitment to it. Then I would start working those steps to get stronger with budgeting. And I would give myself some grace. I would tell myself, listen, it's going to take me about a year to pull this together. And after that, 1000% focus and work on my routines and my rituals. And what I mean by that is that I'm not a single mom. I do have a child, but I've been co-parenting my child with my son his whole entire life. And I realized that that is not a common experience for people, and that the only time that I can relate to being a single mom is when I took over guardianship of my niece. I had guardianship of her for about a year, and parenting her during that year was the only experience that I had of being a single mom where everything fell on me. All finances, all discipline, all everything fell on me, because it wasn't like me and my sister were both managed. Like, it all fell on me. So I have a sliver, okay, of a perspective on this, and then I have a wide perspective on co-parenting, and then I just have a wide perspective on general parenting. So after I found a budgeting philosophy, committed to it, and begun to work those steps, I would work on my routines and rituals. And the specific routines that I would work on are, what is my morning routine? What is my evening routine? What is my food routine? What is my rest routine? And then what is my child or children's routines? And I know that that sounds like a lot of work, but I promise, if you do the work up front of figuring out every single day, this is what I do in the morning, and it takes me 30 minutes to execute my morning routine. Every single night, this is what I do at night. From 9 to 11, we are doing our nighttime routine. Once you figure those routines out, I would work those routines, because as a single parent, like, because you have to do everything, you never have enough time. And the only way to manage time, the only way to get in front of time, is to set priorities. And the only way to be able to see your priorities is to flesh out your routines. It's such a taxing thing. I actually probably should do another video about it. And Abby, if you email me, maybe we can just get on a call and just chat about setting up some routines for you. Because what happens is when you follow your routines, you pre-decide what you're going to do. And because you've already decided what you're going to do before you get into it, you have more time, and you don't get that mental fatigue of like, oh my God, what am I going to wear? What am I going to eat? What is my son going to wear? What is he going to eat? All of those decisions are already made. And because they're already made, you don't have you don't have that decision fatigue that plagues single parents, that ultimately wears you out mentally, wears you out emotionally, wears you out physically. Then you have to go into work and try to like show up. Like it's like eliminating that decision fatigue and that time fatigue through routines would be my very next step. And Abby, if you just want to email me at info@staceyflowers.com, we can definitely jump on a call for free. Like let's not get weird. For free, and we can just set up some things to get you started on that, because my heart goes out to you. Single parenting is very, very difficult. So Techno Girl, while you've been sick, yes, I was very sick for a while, but I'm feeling much better. Ashley, we have to remember she's sharing her personal finance journey. We're not privy to her business info. Yes. Techno Girl, have you been able to view all your videos yet? Oh, you haven't. Okay. Well, there are a lot. Enjoy. Greta King, what is your author's name of your soulmate book? I don't know. I will put it in the description box once I figure it out. Or let me see. Let me go grab it. Hold on just a sec. I don't know what I put it. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. All right. So the name is Thomas More. Thomas More. No, I didn't get a new cell phone. Screen fixed. Fernita Halston saying prayer you feel better. I'm feeling much better. Lisa, I like your meal plans. Please do more. Definitely will do more. Shabin, there is a sign next to the emoji. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Abby, can you make a video about staying focused when you have distractions? Yeah, absolutely. Again, it's a lot of it is going to be me saying the same things, but you have to figure out your priorities. Once you know your priorities, it's easier to maintain your perspective and your focus. Crystal Radcliffe, hey friend, I want to know, I want you can heal your life. So far, I love the book. I purchased 3. Yes, it's a great book. So happy that you got that. Techno Girl, please visit, give input. Faith, is this every Saturday morning? No, this is the Saturday morning, the last Saturday of every month. I do a Budget with Me live, but I'll try to figure out a schedule for regular Q&As, because you guys really seem to enjoy this. And I also have like 84 questions on a community comment that I'm going to create a Q&A for. Wanda, I just had surgery. I've been reading Heal Your Life. Thanks for bringing it to us. You are very welcome. Did your part-time job offer you medical insurance? No, it did not. Leah, have you ever thought about life coach over therapist? Yes, but I'm a fan of life coaching. I love life coaching. The only reason why I have a therapist and not a life coach in terms of managing my PTSD, depression, and anxiety is because life coaching doesn't work for managing PTSD, depression, and anxiety. I think that when I talk to people about the difference between life coaching and therapy, a lot of it has to do with life coaches have an ability to be able to help you get unstuck. So like you're stuck in the present, like you're not reaching some end, you're stuck, right? Their focus is on helping you get unstuck so that you can reach towards some future aim, goal, etc. that you have. Whereas therapy is about helping you get unstuck from the present, because the past is like keeping you from moving forward, right? So life coaching, the future, you can't figure out how to connect to the future. Therapy, you can't figure out how to dislodge from the past, right? And I think that it hasn't been my experience that I found a life coach who professionally helps you dislodge from in such a way that you're able to get unstuck in your present to be able to move forward. And so the challenges that I'm managing with respect to my PTSD, and I mean, the depression and anxiety is certainly lifted now, but at the time when I was very depressed and anxious, life coaching wouldn't have been something that would have worked for me. But I do value life coaching. I do life coaching. I love my clients. and I help so many people through a lot of the ways that they are challenged and stuck in the present moment. But I know my limitations, and I do understand the life coaching industry versus the therapeutic clinical psychology issue. But yeah. Julia Jai, thank you so much for the $10. I appreciate that. Miss AJ, how do you feel about paying a settlement amount for collection items? Is it a bad thing? No, I don't think it's a bad thing. I know that when things go to collections, they typically go through several different like collection offices, and so everybody adds fees. I am an advocate for paying what you owe. And typically what you owe is what you like charge to purchase, and then the natural interest that incurred. I'm not a fan of paying additional fees and extra hoopla just because it was transferred to several different accounts. So typically when they're offering you a settlement, they're offering you a settlement that is a lot closer to the original balance that you simply owe. Abby D. Dieterville, love what you're saying about living a no-debt life, not a credit score maximum, finding a philosophy that fits your life values. Yeah. So just on why you've chosen to live a debt-free life. Yeah, yeah, sure. I didn't know that would be something that would be interesting, but yeah, absolutely. Shalinda Holiday, nice, the meal prepping. I love your apron. Thank you. I got that when I was in Rwanda. Your guts, and I appreciate that. Sydney Wilson, your YouTube channels, do you like to watch? What YouTube channels do you like to watch? One of my favorite YouTube channels is Tarmar. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But I like her channel. It's funny because I didn't realize why I liked her channel so much, but one day in her Instagram, she was explaining that she produces content that is like escapism content. And so it allows you to sort of be able to like escape. And I never really thought about that as being something that's valuable, because when I think about my channel, my channel is definitely not escapism. Like, no, I'm like, let's look at my money, you know? But I really love her content. She is a girl from Ireland who's an NYC vlogger type person. She used to really be into fashion, but she does a lot of NYC vlogs that I really enjoy. I also really like Jordan Peterson's YouTube channel. He is a professor. I'm not even going to try to butcher his credentials, but he's a professor, and he has a very like philosophical approach to psychological concepts, and I love it. I know that I'm going to get my PhD because I love learning, and I'm trying. One of the things that I'm trying to figure out is what I would eventually get my PhD in. It wouldn't be anytime soon, but what I would get my PhD in. And so I like his discourse. I like the way that he takes different things and like puts them together and like has this awesome discussion about it. And so he just keeps me like super inspired about my PhD aspirations. But Jordan Peterson, Termar, Karen Bond, she's awesome. She is an interior designer, but she does amazing videos on a day in the life of an entrepreneur. And even though her channel, she's an interior designer, the information that she shares is universal to all entrepreneurs. So I really like her. Those are the top 3 people that like when I get a ping that they have uploaded, I'm like, let me go to their channel. So yeah. Thank you very much, Candace. Did you donate twice? Well, thank you. It seems like you may have donated twice. I appreciate that. Techno Girl, my first experience with Kel wasn't happy. Yeah, it may not be for you. Abby Grant, can you do a live chat once a week? Sure. Maybe it can be like a live Q&A sort of a thing. Sure. Sydney Wilson, what YouTube channels? Oh wait, did you ask me that already? Maybe I went back up. Oh, so you didn't donate twice. I just saw that twice. Okay, never mind. RH, have you thought about cashing any of your investments or corporation's assets to pay off your debts? Are you a psychologist? You sound like one. No, I'm not a psychologist. My company doesn't have any assets, and I don't have any investments to cash out. Thank you, Techno Girl. I see you guys with your Whole Foods in here. beets, brown rice, spinach, broccoli. Yeah. So all you have to do is learn how to make meals based on, learn how to make, now that you have five foods, 5 meals out of each of those foods. Change your budgeting life forever. All right. So let's see. Okay, that's all food. Foxy Girl 646, yes, is supporting your content. Yes, what is your favorite charity? Mine is Make a Wish. I this is gonna sound very self-serving, but my favorite charity is the charity that I created. So my first book is called Pregnant with Purpose. And for every book sold, and it's available on Amazon. I don't think it's available on my website right now, but for every book sold, a percentage of the profits goes to a scholarship fund that I have for teen parents who want to go to college. So at this time, my favorite charity is my charity, the charity that I fund through my first book. Patrick Greenwald, put batteries in the fire alarm behind you. It's a good investment. I do have batteries. The reason I take it out is because I don't have ventilation in my apartment. And so the second I turn on my oven, it explodes. But I typically put them back in like after I'm done cooking. Robbie, I cannot digest beef or pork. Yeah, like once you know that, like stop eating it. Like I finally, like I've never really liked chicken, right? Like certain types of chicken. No, I just really don't care for chicken. But what's interesting is my body doesn't particularly care for eggs. So me not liking chicken, and I think that it was just an issue like growing up as like a black girl. Like people be like, "You're not black if you don't like chicken," and I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna eat this chicken, right? But it wasn't until I found that I had a little bit of a sensitivity to eggs that I'm like, oh, it's not that you just don't like chicken. You don't have a good reaction to poultry. Like you just don't, so like you don't have to eat it, kind of a thing. And I think once you know that, it's easier to build a budget around foods that you do like. So I'm a beef girl. Like I love steak. I love salmon. I can't wait to add those things back to my diet. Cast is a good idea. I do think it's a good idea. Absolutely. I think that the difference between it being a good idea. So I usually categorize things in good ideas versus God ideas, right? And so I think it's a good idea, but right now I'm really running with God ideas, right? And what that means is that I may not be doing things that make sense to other people, but they make sense to me. And they make sense to me based on the insight and the wisdom that I am getting from God right now. And so my priority over everything is my mental and physical health and well-being. And so one of the reasons why I'm not getting a second job or working full time and doing all of those things that which would really be a good idea, and I burned out dramatically, and I am unwilling to try that method. A little bit more scary, but I believe that it's a God idea. So I think things will be well. Does it matter that I'm 53 years old as far as making a budget? Nope. You can start at any time. And I think that you being 53 years old is a reminder that like budgeting is not something that comes naturally. Because why? Because people don't talk about money. Why don't people talk about money? Because money is so attached to self-worth that nobody wants to talk about it, because they feel like if they talk about it, they are admitting that they either don't have a lot of self-worth or they have low self-worth or whatever. But it's just like, no, you are a worthy human being regardless of how much money you make. And the issue is that people don't tell people that. And because people don't tell people that, we're not talking about money enough in our homes. When you do maybe learn about money, maybe you learn about it at school, but school doesn't teach you about money and also offer you a value system with it. And because you don't have a value system, it's like I'm learning about money, but I'm not learning it in the context of a value system. And so it's not sticking to anything. And so I think in money at all ages, because it's just not something that we talk about. And we don't talk about it because it seems like it's too personal, it's too vulnerable, and it's just like, that's probably accurate that it is really personal and it's really vulnerable, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it to Patrick, folks, you have to invest early, good education, good trade school. If you are broke and budgeting at 40, you have failed at life. I disagree. I think that people's and based on where you start, it has a lot to do with where you are right now. But what's awesome is that you can start over at any time that you decide. And investing, education, trade, all of that stuff, that's a philosophy. That's why I say the first step is to pick a philosophy. Kathleen Wagner, I've been taught these rules since I was very young, preteen, and it makes things so much easier. You're doing great. Thank you. Talking about money must have been just normal in your household. That's awesome. Do you have any plans to do another TED Talk? I was invited to that TED Talk, so I don't have any plans of applying to a TED stage at this time. But I mean, if I'm invited to do a TED Talk, absolutely. If I'm invited to do it again, then I definitely will. Abby, thanks. I work from home when my kids are at school. I sleep. It's a struggle to get everything done in these hours and have energy to keep me with my kids after school on weekends. Yeah, absolutely. You're welcome. Lisa, routines set priorities. Got it. Sounds like it makes less stress. Yeah, routines and priorities make life so much less stressful. It makes it easier to deal with criticism and negativity. It just makes everything better. Thrifty simplicity. I need a tutorial on your head wrap. Absolutely. I think you're like the 100th person who's asked that. So clearly, I need to do a video on that. Yes, I was able to get my cell phone fixed, Unique. So I don't need that cell phone replacement, but thank you. It's 2:30. Thank you so much for jumping up to listen. Awesome. Whoa. The name of the channels, Karen, I'll put them in the description box, but Karen Bond, Jordan Peterson, and Terramar. But I'll put them in the description once this goes up. I haven't read his book, The 12 Rules, but I've seen a lot of his lectures on it, but I'm pretty sure it's like amazing. Miss AJ, I'm not for sure how settling accounts affect your credit score. I think negatively, but I'm not someone who really considers my credit score when I'm thinking about budgeting my money, getting out of debt. So I'm not really the best person to answer that question for you. All right, that is wonderful. All right, I've read The Richest Man in Babylon. I really like that book. Oh no, Alexandria. I don't know what that translates into, but I'm gonna copy and paste it and put it in Google to get it translated. But it looks like you're from Colombia, so very exciting to have you here. It doesn't look like we have any other questions, and we have been chatting for almost an hour. So we're gonna wrap this Q&A up right at an hour. I love you guys. I appreciate you all for listening. Thank you so much for all the super chat contributions. For those of you all who have been interested in contributing so that I can continue to put out the content, super chat is an excellent way to do that. Also, you are more than welcome to sign up through my Patreon account, which is www.patreon.com/Stacey Flowers. But thank you. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you. This community is amazing, and I look forward to chatting with you all very soon. Bye.